I truly think this is the number one obstacle that men face in their love life, in their dating life, when they face the sexual marketplace, wherever you want to put it. Most men will encounter this problem at least once in their life, if not multiple times, because it's just easy to fall into. And women will have these issues too. This is not a video just for men, although oftentimes I direct it towards men. But I feel like men face this issue more often than not. And that is this. They are unable to enter into a state of play. They have lost their sense of playfulness. And when that happens, well, no one wants to play with you. It's a two-sided street. The reality is love, relationships, sex, dating, flirting, all these things, it's about play. These are playful, light, fun things to do. And it takes two to tango. And you can't just look to your partner or woman to bring all that to the table. Usually when you see a really bad breakup, where the man's pretty crestfallen, he's pretty devastated, a lot of times it's because he has lost his ability to be playful and kind of looks towards his woman in his life to be playful. And so when she's playful, he's playful. And when she's not, he's not. And you can see where the problem of this lies, where it's like she becomes the center, she becomes the sun in which his world revolves around. And he gets kind of addicted almost to her playfulness. And it's like, she's just gonna find someone on her wavelength. You know, if you're never the playful one, or you're never one that initiate the playfulness, then well, she's gonna find someone of the same frequency. And so, what is playfulness, right? And people have researched this, and researchers have identified 4 core aspects or attributes. I have here, it's the immersion, so deeply absorbed, sense of mastery, good at creating fun, activeness, feeling energetic, positive effect, experiencing joy. I would add to that spontaneity, you know, a sense of kind of losing track of time, kind of a flow state, right? And this is a positive thing to be in. People have found that people are far more performative. They get a lot more done actually when they're in a playful state rather than a goal-oriented state. It's a focus on process rather than goals. So that can be tough just innately because men tend to be so goal-oriented. We tend to be more goal-oriented than women. But we all know how to be playful. We were all playful once as children. You can see this play out with toddlers. They do this wordlessly. If you go to a playground and see a bunch of toddlers playing with each other, well, the playful toddlers will go find the other playful toddlers. They'll come up to them, they can just see and sense from them, oh, you want to play? And they'll chase each other around, they'll throw balls around, whatever the case may be. But if a toddler is scared, you know, they're kind of clutching their mother's leg, they're shy, they're off in the corner, they're angry, they're throwing a tantrum, they're sad, they're crying, then the toddlers aren't going to go play with them, you know? They just know, they act upon that naturally. Same is true for adults. It's like, okay, if you're sad, you're angry, you're upset, you're shy, you're scared. No, people will pick up on that, and it's just they go find the other playful adults to play with. It's just that simple. So what prevents, if it's so simple and so organic, and we're able to do it as children, even as young little toddlers, why do men struggle to enter into that playful state? Why do they struggle to have fun? I think the big main obstacle is chronic emotional, psychological states. It's chronic depression, chronic anxiety, chronic overthinking, obsession, maybe it's chronic resentment, chronic bitterness, anger. That could be a product of trauma. It could not be. It could be a product of an unhealthy lifestyle. Maybe it's a job that you hate and resent. Maybe it's just an unhealthy lifestyle, you're sedentary, not exercising. You rely on substances to get through the day. Could be unhealthy relationships with your family, with your friends, your coworkers, your acquaintances, whatever the case may be. And of course, there's just the reality of life. It's just, life is harsh. Life is cruel. It's full of disappointments and frustrations. You have to work to live and to pay the bills. And most jobs don't really reward playfulness, right? They reward more goal-oriented behavior. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to be goal-oriented. We wouldn't have roads and bridges and infrastructure if we weren't goal-oriented. But it's not good when you're unable to access that state, that playfulness, that playful state at all. And a lot of men aren't. They get to this. And so you have to be able to go back there. You have to be the sun, right? You have to be the center of your own solar system. You have to be your own power source, your own energy source. You shouldn't be looking to a woman for power, for energy, or for playfulness or fun. They could pick up on that, and you might have fun for a little while if you're lucky, but you can always set your watch to when that's going to be over. Another way that ends in disaster is sometimes men, they have a great friend group they have fun with, they have hobbies they have fun with, they have their own power source, their own fun source, their own play source. But then as they fall into a long-term relationship and it gets more serious, he lets go of these things. He lets go of his hobbies, lets go of his friends. Either the woman pushes him to do it, or he just does it himself a lot of times. He kind of goes, I'm in a relationship and this is fun, so I don't need it anymore. Again, it's a countdown to disaster. It's a countdown to the breakup, because no woman wants to be the source of all the fun and all the play all the time. She can every once in a while, of course, but she's gonna look sex, relationships, dating, all these things are playful things, they're fun things. It shouldn't be too serious. Once it gets bogged down in seriousness, it's going to lead to issues. And some men resent that, they go, well, hey, I have goals, I have relationship goals, I have goals to have children, I have goals to be married, I have goals to have a long-term committed relationship, monogamy. Isn't there some seriousness to that? And I want someone in my life who will support me in times of good and times of bad. So what are you telling me? She's just gonna flake out the minute things get tough? The answer is yes and no. It depends on a lot of factors, right? A couple that is married 20, 30 years and the man experiences tragedy, yeah, I'm gonna expect a woman to stand by him and stick it through more so than a couple that has been dating for 3 months, right? There's just more emotional investment at that point. On the flip side, any man who expects that level of dedication and responsibility on behalf of the woman within the first couple months, the 3 or 4 months, or whatever the case would be, that's not really fair. You should be having fun. It should be light. It should be. We all have our own problems. We all have experienced setbacks and whatever the case may be, but that's not really fair to place on someone at a stage where it should just be fun and light and playful. So this video also dovetails my kind of niche maxing in a way, because when a man feels a sense of mastery and competency, he oftentimes enters into that playful state, that flow state, where he feels like he could be free and lose sense of time. And so when he has that he has his little niche, his little domain, his little corner of the world where he feels like he's king, he's the master. That's where that kind of spontaneity gets reinvigorated, right? And that's deeply attractive. deeply attracted to women, and to men too, on a friendship or acquaintance level. And so again, he becomes his own power source. He And I think one last thing is it is playfulness is about intrinsic motivation, right? He's not, it's not like, oh, I'm doing this hobby. I'm picking up salsa dancing because this will pick up chicks. I have a goal in mind, and I'll be able to accomplish my goal. It's like, no, it's like he salsa dances because he loves to salsa dance. He's in the moment. He's free. He lets go, and people could sense that, and he becomes fun, becomes light, and he'll be able to flirt naturally. It just comes to him. He'll be able to have fun naturally. And so, yeah, when you're developing your niche, you're developing your domain. Always be aware: am I in a playful state? Am I just letting go? I'm free. I'm uninhibited. I'm intrinsically motivated. I lose track of time. I'm just in a flow state. Once you combine those two things, that sense of competency, that mastery, and that flow state, that sense of freedom, you're kind of unstoppable. So many, not just love and romance and dating and sex, but also just professionally, and growing a network and developing friendships and acquaintances and all that sort of thing. So it's not always easy to do because life can be quite harsh at times, and people lose track of that. Men lose track of that. Women lose track of that for sure. But try to lean into that more and develop that playful mindset, that playfulness more, and results will come eventually.